Oh.
That's why I'm trying to make a better way. Whole new crib in a better place. Get my people out the hood, we'll see better days. Tell a fan sorry, y'all let them wait. Shit up there like a Saturday. Listen to me how beats beat up like a battle.
Yo, what up, guys? This is your boy Kofi with my co-host Chuck Full Damage Miller. Another episode of KO Sports Hangout. And in today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of stuff, particularly a coach from the past who we had, Matt Eberflus.
That's
talking about calling Williams a liar, saying that he never did any film study with him because, as we all know, Caleb Williams in his memoir talked about how him and his coaches never really did film study with him. And somebody from the Dallas Esquire was interviewing Matt Eberflus and stating whether or not they did film study with Caleb Williams. And to his point, he said that they did a whole bunch of film study. And we're just going to be talking a little bit about this. And we're also going to be talking about Colin Cowherd and some of the stuff that he said about Caleb Williams possibly being probably one of the best quarterbacks in the NFC. And so, Chuck, let's. I want to get your whole point with Matt Eberflus stating that they did film study with him.
Well, good morning, KO Sports Talk, man. Good to see you guys. What's good, Mills? I see you out there, brother. Welcome to another edition of KO Sports Talk. Those of y'all that's tuning us in for the first time, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and chime in. We are live chat. So I will say this. I gotta say, they have an old saying. I'm trying to get the saying right before I say it. Hit dogs, holler loud, or something like that. I can't remember the phrasing properly. But Matt is that dog that's getting hit. He's hurt, he's wounded, and he really never had any quarterbacks back in any capacity here in Chicago. He didn't have Justin Fields back. He didn't have Caleb Williams back. And so for him to come out and to even address anything that Caleb Williams is sharing, as though Caleb Williams is lying, and give him misinformation, it's asinine, it's ludicrous on his part, and it shows a lack of immaturity on Matt Eberflus' part. Caleb Williams is a young kid who's just telling about his experience last year in Chicago. If Matt Eberflus is honest with himself, it was not a very good experience for a young kid in his first year to have dealt with it. So really, that's all predicated. He comes off as the type that'll say anything and do anything to keep his face looking clean. That's the feel that I get from Matt Eberflus. I just get that feeling. Caleb Williams clarified some things on this. It wasn't that he was saying that they never, got with him in film study at all. In particular, Matt Eberflus. He never said Matt Eberflus didn't get there with him. His offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron, was the one who never spent any time with Caleb Williams on film study. And not that Caleb Williams couldn't study on his own. He was doing that. He's a young kid. He tried to figure it out. So, he needed some coaching to help him along the way. But Matt Eberflus, he's looking like an idiot. Once again, what else is new? He looks like an idiot because he put his foot in his mouth yet again. That's my take on it.
Yeah, man. We saw what happened last year. The Bears were in a lot of games last year. Particularly the infamous Hail Mary catch with the Washington Commanders. The fact that he didn't call a timeout after Tariq Stevenson was not set in that game, and the fact that he also gave yardage, all that extra yardage to give the Washington Commanders enough time to wind up and make that throw. Sorry, man, freaking roach.
Mhm. That's okay.
And I'm sorry, fucking roach. The fact that he gave him the Washington Commanders time in order to make that play, I mean, it's just an indictment on him. I mean, we could count the number of games that the Bears were in where Caleb Williams literally like did not get help from his coaches at all. I mean, we could talk about the Detroit game, that Detroit game where they had 33 seconds. The fact that he didn't call a timeout and Caleb Williams was running that 2 minute drill, like
Right.
going towards the end of the game, bro. He was marching his team downfield during those last 2 minutes, and the fact that the last 33 seconds of the game when he got sacked, like you didn't call a timeout, bro. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What's going on with you? You know?
Well, and that's the difference between good coaches and bad coaches, so to speak. We won't even get into the great coach conversation because Matt Eberflus does not belong in that conversation. Um,
Mm-hmm.
um, but good coaches understand situational football. That is what the good coaches are there for, to help their young team figure out what to do and what is the proper move to make in a situation. When the young players don't know what to do, and when you got a head coach who is sitting there looking bewildered on the sideline, clueless, doesn't have a contextual clue on what to do and how to do it at the time when the team needs his leadership, you got a bad head coach, bro. You got a bad head coach. I don't care what he did up until that point. If he can't make sound decisions at the time the sound decisions are required to be made, he's not a good head coach, bro. He is
No,
not.
he's not.
Yeah, not at all.
And and that's so refreshing. And speaking of time, I mean, a game of inches because yeah, like you said, I mean, football is situational, but it's also a game of inches. It's also a game of inches too,
Mhm.
and the details matter. I mean, like how many times were we in formation, and we had players that their feet wasn't set. Oh, false start. Oh, delay of game. Oh,
Mhm.
this that like the details, the little things that matter. That where we had drives where we were in a rhythm, but that rhythm was killed by a penalty, or killed
Mhm.
by a guy whose feet wasn't set. And that's why I wanted to talk about this, with Ben Johnson. I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure you've already heard, Charles,
Mhm.
from the reports, in practice, how Ben
Right.
Johnson was yelling at some of the players because, particularly Cole Komet, how his feet
Right.
wasn't set, and I think that's very good, making sure that these players,
Mhm.
like the small things, making
Right.
sure you're lined up properly, making sure that you're in the right position because, I mean, like I said, football is a game of inches, and
Absolutely.
especially if you're facing a really really good team, you're going to take advantage of that. Like if you're facing like a really good team or any team in the NFL, they're going to take advantage of that. So
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still here, coach. Just trying to get some things together.
yeah. And then also Colin Cowherd, he talked about Caleb Williams and the fact that what he's been going through this past season, the chaos,
Yeah.
and he talked about like how Caleb Williams has the makings to become one of the better quarterbacks, well, the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and I
Yeah.
kind of want to get your take on that, with Ben Johnson, the coaching staff,
Mhm.
um, him getting, especially Case Keenum. Case Keenum, I think, was also a big signing in order to help the development of a young
Yeah.
quarterback. I mean, Case Keenum, he has a history of success, man. Like you can remember back in 2017, where he took that team to the NFC Championship
The
game.
Minnesota Vikings you're talking about?
Yeah, and the Minnesota Miracle. He was a part of that. Um, then they won
Where he
13
threw up that
games.
crap and got
Yeah.
lucky that
Mm-hmm.
Stephon Diggs was the
Stephon
recipient.
Diggs. Right. Right.
Remember that.
Right. Um, yeah. I mean, I think that was just an important signing, and like just
Yeah.
Ben Johnson hiring all these coaches with NFL experience. I mean, Eric Bieniemy. I mean, former offensive coordinator. two-time Super Bowl champion. Getting
Dennis
blanking
Allen
out.
on the defense.
Yeah, Dennis
Al
Allen,
Harris.
Al Harris,
JT Barrett.
JT Barrett, who
What happened?
national championship with Ohio State,
Right.
back in 2014.
Right.
Hiring all these coaches to do whatever possible to help Caleb Williams
Well,
succeed.
I think I think Ben Johnson is a very, very wise guy. That dude's very smart in the regard that he knows this is his first stint as a head coach. And so he doesn't have all the answers, bro. And he's not going to sit there and pretend like one Matt Eberflus, that he had all the answers, that he has all the answers. So what he did is he brought in a capable staff that's formidable and more than capable of helping assist him figure it out when he don't know. Everybody always needs somebody around them that can help them out. Coach, I don't know if you got a chance to see it, but you should see the full interview where Ben Johnson was on the Colin Cowherd show. I thought that was a very interesting interview. I'm gonna send it to you if you don't have it. But that Ben Johnson is wise enough to know that he don't have it all figured out overnight, and he knows that it's going to take time to get this figured out. In terms of Caleb Williams and his ability to be one of the best young quarterbacks in this game, and possibly end up being the best quarterback in the game at some point, I think that's a metric that was a matter of not if but when for the Caleb Williams type. He has all the tools, bro. He came out labeled as a generational talent. He was this phenomenal arm talent. He got these off-schedule throws that he makes. He's great at running the ball, and he's very smart at reading defense. He knows how to pick a defensive arm. What Caleb Williams ever needed was comparable coaching around him, the quality of players on that line that he needs, and time, bro. That's all you got to do with a kid like Caleb Williams. Give him time. So I think Ben Johnson is coming in at the right time. There's a lot of music.
Sorry,
he's that's better. That's better, bro. But he's coming in at the right time. I believe he's the right coach for Caleb Williams. He's the guy that can help Caleb Williams get it next level. And I think he brought like you just pointed out, a comparable staff in around him to help him figure all of this out, to where he's not green and doing this by himself. I know a lot of Detroit fans, yes, Slim, I'm going there. A lot of Detroit fans, Don Burr, are salty haters right now because they don't like the fact that Ben Johnson, it's not him leaving, Cove. They don't like the fact that when Ben Johnson left, he made a run to the camp of the enemy. That's what they don't like, bro. Is they knew he was too hot of a commodity to stay in Detroit forever. So they know he was leaving. They just still like him coming to Chicago.
And Ben Johnson, he's very competitive, man. He likes a challenge.
Oh yeah,
like the guy is he's very, very competitive. So what better?
And I really think he wants to. I really think he wants to rub it in Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions organization's face to let them know y'all only listened to me to a certain point, and we could have done more if y'all had listened to me. This is how it's supposed to be done. I think he wants to rub it in their face. If I'm totally honest with you, bro, he's already trying to rub it in Matt LaFleur's face that they were beating up on Green Bay, and he wants that to continue, and he's not making any bones about that. And now he's
what is he like 6-1? Is he like 6-1 against?
Yeah, he's darn near undefeated. Yeah. T.O., he's darn near undefeated against Green Bay. That's all I'm gonna say.
Jimmy Hoffa, all you
I'm
guys.
gonna leave that right there, bro. I ain't gonna say nothing else. I'm gonna leave that right there for you Packers fans out there. Yeah, bro. He's darn near undefeated against Green Bay. 6-1. Woo!
6-1.
Hot. Burn yourself. But yeah, but I think Ben Johnson is a very wise mind in terms of offensive prowess. He's smart enough to know that he can't do it all. So he went and got all the help that he needed. Al Harris knows what he's doing. He's been a defensive backs coach for years over there with the Dallas Cowboys. Look at that secondary. They're ball hawks. This is what they do over there. Eric Bieniemy, offensive coordinator and running backs coach at one time or another with the Kansas City Chiefs. Plus, this is what this man did as a career. he was a running back. They used to call him Chris Berman. He used to call him Eric sleeping with the enemy when he was running for the Cincinnati Bengals. So he's very capable. Dennis Allen just left getting fired as the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. Okay, maybe not the greatest head coach in the world, but Dennis Allen is what made his
great defensive coordinator.
His hat on being a defensive coordinator, and he is very good at it. He is very good at it. JT Barrett, I'm still a little green on him in terms of his knowledge of being a QB's coach and what have you. So I don't have a lot to say about him, but I can't imagine he's lacking much experience, seeing that he is a former QB to where he couldn't help Caleb Williams get better with footwork and things like that. So, this staff is more than capable. They're more than capable. And this Bears team is going to make some noise. We're talking double digits and up in terms of wins. And the sky's the limit. We get Luther Burden and Colston Loveland and all these other guys, Ozzie Trapilo and all these other guys.
I've been hearing the Rams were trying to draft Colston Loveland. The Rams were jealous that the Bears got him.
Colston Loveland was the highest ranked tight end on the board, on the big board. They were talking a lot about Tyler Warren. They were talking a lot about him. But
I was hoping we would get Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren was on my board. I didn't expect us to take Colston Loveland at all.
Honestly,
that was way left field.
I didn't have a range for us taking a tight end at all. Not gonna lie to you, Cole. I'm more than satisfied with what we have in Cole Kmet. Not gonna tell you that lie.
Right.
But I understand that Ben Johnson wants to run 12 personnel here in Chicago. And 12 personnel generally requires, or at least this is what Chicago been trying to run. It generally requires a two tight end set. It requires a 2 tight end set. So I'm not mad at him for going to do that. The Bears were trying to run 12 personnel last year when they brought in Gerald Everett. It just didn't work very well. Mm-hmm. It didn't work very well. I love right now. What's good? Real Street. Yeah, I'm thrilled right now with where the Bears are and what we've added. The band is back. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yeah, I'm thrilled right now with what we've added and where we're at. I'm hoping all of this turns into a major execution player-wise, performance-wise on the field. That's where we need to see it. That's where we need to be it. You know what I mean? And Ben Johnson, he's pretty much got the same take that I've got on this in terms of how long it may take the Bears to gel on the field with all of these new pieces. I was giving it 4 to 5 weeks. I said maybe the first 5 weeks of the season before we actually start gelling. You listen to the Colin Cowherd interview, the full interview with Ben Johnson. He said the same pretty much. He said 4 weeks. And he said he believes that the bye week is coming at the perfect time because it's coming in week 5. Personally, I think Ben Johnson is nuts on that. Week 5.
Yeah, me too. That's too early.
Yeah, that's way too early. It's a long, grueling season. 17 games of everybody trying to kill you and take your soul, bro. And they're trying to hurt you in every kind of way they can. So we're going to play 4 games, and then we got 13 to look forward to consecutively. That's a bit much, bro. That's too much.
I mean, unless you get like a Thursday night game, you get a mini bye. But other than that, it's still brutal.
Not really, because that's coming off a shortened week.
Oh, yeah.
So you go from Sunday to Thursday. So you're talking, 4 days to get ready for the game?
You're right. Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah. But, so, everything's not going to be perfect, Coach. I don't expect Ben Johnson and his coaching staff to come in here with the pieces that they have and see everything operate like a well-oiled machine, top to bottom, every single game. Not going to happen. You're going to have some nicks and bruises, some bumps in the road, going to miss assignments, some poor execution. Stuff like that is going to happen. It's par for the course. The question is, how fast can the Chicago Bears players get on board with this coaching staff and line everything up to execute what these people are telling them? I'm going to tell you this. If Caleb Williams, DJ Moore, and that entire wide receiver staff, the running backs room, the offensive line, defensive line, linebackers, D-backs, secondary, if they listen to this coaching staff and really buy into it, sky's the limit to where this team can go, bro. this is a nicely built team, bro. Very nicely built, bro.
I mean,
Got,
speaking of
got all the
training
pieces.
camp, speaking of training camp, so far I know it's a little bit early. I mean, they've been doing OTAs, but so far from what I've been hearing, offense has kind of been being a little bit ahead of the defense. That's something you haven't heard in a long time. I mean, since I've
Yeah,
been a Bears fan, the defense has always been ahead of the
one
offense. Oh,
step ahead.
defense
Yeah.
step ahead. And now I'm hearing, okay, the offense is just slightly a step ahead of the defense. That's
Yeah, because Caleb Williams
foreign
is no
territory.
slouch. Caleb Williams is a
Right.
stud. Caleb
Mm-hmm.
Williams is a future Hall of Famer in the making.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody that's not a Bears fan wants to hear that, but that's the truth, brother. You're talking
Mm-hmm.
about a dude who threw 93 touchdown passes in his college career to what, 14 interceptions? Are you kidding me? That's unheard of. Even in his rookie year, which was not the greatest rookie year of all time, the man
Shambles.
20, he threw 20 touchdowns and only 6 interceptions. When you
And he
got
broke
a
he broke the rookie passing record for not throwing an interceptions in like
when you
354 attempts.
when you got a rookie QB, when you got a QB who's completing an entire NFL season with he's a starting quarterback and he's only got single digit interceptions, bro, you got something borderline and great, bro. Real talk, bro. It's just a matter of time before it takes off. And he didn't have the offensive line that he needed, but the Bears went and got that
And
fixed up.
he didn't have the proper coaching too. He didn't have
He
the
didn't have the
proper
proper
coaching.
coaching. The Bears went and shored that up. He didn't have
Mm-hmm.
all the weapons that he needed. The Bears went and shored that up. He didn't have the full support of a defense like he might have needed after injuries happened. The Bears went and shored that up, bro. It is just a matter of time before this kid catches fire and you see a 40, almost 50 touchdown season from this kid, man. He's got all the makings of a guy that can get that done, bro. He can get that done. And when he does, look out. Look out. You got in order to beat a team like the Bears with the way we play defense generally, you got to turn the ball over. You got to get turnovers from us. You know, and if this guy's not turning the ball over and he's got time to dissect,
It's gonna be
look out.
hard to beat this team.
Look out, bro. It's gonna be
Hard.
tough to stop, bro.
Mm-hmm. And just looking at the schedule so far, I mean, our first 2 games are going to be divisional rivals. We got the Minnesota Vikings. Even with JJ McCarthy, there's some unknowns, but I think overall, this
JJ
team,
Icy Fish. Yeah. Yeah, tell him don't kill a kid when he throwing them passes to the sideline. He ain't been too good.
yeah. I think even with him with the Vikings still going to be a tough team. I think overall you just see with that team what they've done. They shored up the offensive line. They shored up the defensive line. And yeah, I mean, yeah, JJ McCarthy is going to be an unknown, but Kevin McConnell, he's gonna have his young quarterback prepared for this Bears team. And then after that, you got the Lions. They're one of the better teams last year, one of the best teams last year. That won 15 last year.
Yeah, this is a new year, bro.
This is a new year.
Losing Ragnow is gonna be big, bro.
Yeah, losing Ragnow. I was gonna even ask you about that. What do you think about the Lions losing Ragnow?
Yeah,
that's big.
Huge, bro.
That's huge.
You can't replace a big time player like Ragnow. That dude's he's the staple, the anchor of that entire. Yeah, Hall of Fame caliber. That's right, brother. I'm not bagging off of that. I know what we got. I'm standing on that. But yeah, you can't replace the caliber of player that Ragnow is, brother. Those shoes are just too big to fill. There's some reports out here. They're rumored. I don't know how true they are, but some reports that said that the reason Ragnow decided to retire is because he wanted to leave with Ben Johnson and they wouldn't let him or something. I don't know. I don't know how true that is, bro. I don't know how true that is. All I know is that's out here. Some people are saying that stuff.
I think because you were saying he was getting banged up a lot, I mean,
yeah. Ragnow said it was because of his injuries.
Injuries, yeah. I think that's what happened to Luke Kuechly. Luke Kuechly, he had to retire, because of injuries.
Yeah. He said he wanted to be able to walk with his children, and stuff like that. And that's understandable, bro. That's understandable. But whatever the case, whatever the reason that was spurned on, it is a huge loss. Those are shoes that Detroit will not be able to fill, unless they go steal a Hall of Fame offensive lineman from some other team somewhere.
Unless they get Drew Tallman, which we already have.
Yeah, well, they need. You mean more like a Joe Tooney? They need like a Joe Tooney type to fill that void, bro. That's a big void. So yeah, that should impact the Detroit Lions running game. Their running game is top flight, bro. It's top flight over there. And Ragnar was a big proponent of that, bro. He was the main reason that was happening, bro. Without that guy there, that's going to be big. And I think that lessens Detroit's impact in the division.
On the run game.
And I think it'll lessen their impact in the division in terms of wins and losses. I think this brings them back down to earth. It brings them back down significantly, bro. So 7-8 wins, maybe 9. They are Detroit. I just don't know, bro.
And of course, you don't know, like the offensive coordinator. You don't know how he's going to run this team. I don't even know who's their offensive coordinator now.
They stole offensive coordinator from the Denver Broncos. He was pretty good last year. Not gonna lie.
Oh, from the Broncos.
Yeah. If you can consider him the offensive coordinator with the Broncos, because Sean Payton is the offensive brain over there.
Yeah,
everybody knows that.
We already know that.
So we'll see. I thought it was a clever move on Detroit's part to try to snatch up the offensive coordinator from over there. But it's questionable whether or not he really was that guy, seeing that we stole Declan Doyle from over there and made him our offensive coordinator. So, I don't know. I'm assuming those guys were learning from Sean Payton, and maybe they can bring something to the table. I just know that Detroit needs a guy who can execute those X's and O's, who can call those offensive plays, at the right time. Not so sure that that Ben Johnson needs a Declan Doyle to do the same over here. So we'll see. Detroit is the 2-time division champion. And
that's going to come to an end.
They just did come off a 15-2 season. They made a lot of noise with a lot of injuries on that defense. So I'm not going to discount Detroit and say that they can't get it done again. They've already proven they can get it done to an extent, but it's going to be tough sledding, bro. It's an uphill battle for them this year. But they still got all their pieces in place. Outside of Ragnar, they got the rest of that offense in place. You know what I mean? They still got the same quarterback. They still got the same head coach. Dan Campbell, he's no slouch. They still got what they need. They get bring in
the two-headed running back and Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery.
Oh yeah, that's nasty. That's a nasty tandem there, bro. I'm not gonna tell you no lie. That's a filthy tandem, bro. David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, bro. That's a filthy tandem. So yeah, I don't expect them to fall all the way off the rafters, but I do expect them to come down. So.
Right. And then also, rookie reports, Luther Burden, he's been dealing with his injuries. He's missed all the OTAs. Do you think that's concerning? I mean, with what's going on, that's very what's going on with him, because he's missed OTAs, whatever. We just drafted him in a high position, he's a high second round pick, and
it's absolutely. It's absolutely concerning, and Ben Johnson has voiced this much, publicly. Ben Johnson wants him there, bro. He wants him in the OTAs. He wants him around the team, even if he's unable to practice. Ben Johnson wants him there. I think more so than anything, both. If I'm totally honest, this is more so a holdout on Luther Burden's part. I hate to think that way about this young kid, but I think that's what this is, bro. Holding out for this guaranteed money. What is the max you're gonna make as a second round player? $11 million in the contract over a 4-year period or something? Why are you holding out for guaranteed money? That doesn't make any sense, bro. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make
especially if you haven't even proved yourself in the NFL gridiron.
Yeah, but see, once again, the Cleveland Browns, they have set a precedent in this league once and again, like they always do, by doing something stupid that nobody else was doing. They did something unprecedented. They took both of their second round picks in this year's draft and gave them fully guaranteed contracts. Same way they did with Deshaun Watson when they signed him as their quarterback and gave him a fully $232 million guaranteed contract. Bro. When you do that,
that was a bad contract. That was bad. Hindsight, 2020.
I mean,
at that time it was good. You know, it was good because
I wouldn't even say it was good. I think they didn't really think that all the way through. Because they didn't get space for injuries. They didn't get space for whether or not he was able to recover himself.
Because he was coming off of an injury, like right after. I mean, before he signed with the Browns, right?
Yeah. Well, he was really. It was more like a contractual, more like issues with the Houston Texans organization.
Yeah.
And he was coming off of that big scandal with all of the rape allegations and all of that stuff. So that ate into his psyche. And I don't think the Browns, compensated for that, or I ain't gonna say compensated. I don't think they considered that when they were putting this contract together. They wanted him. This was their way of letting him know that they wanted him, and they were all in. And so they gave him the money guaranteed. The only problem with that is when you give that much money guaranteed, you leave no room for error. Now you put Deshaun Watson completely under the gun. There is no space for execution flaws. He's got to come out. He's got to play perfect.
He's got to perform.
He got to take you to the Super Bowl. He got to do all that now.
Take it to multiple playoffs.
Yeah, because you done gave this man all this money. Same kind of money they could have gave to Baker Mayfield, but that's neither here.
That was bad. I don't know why they got rid of
Baker Mayfield. Bro. It was a bad move. But
back.
I understand them, being taken by the talent of Deshaun Watson, because Deshaun Watson was phenomenal before all of this stuff happened, bro. He was phenomenal as a quarterback. But that being said, they did it again with these second round picks. Who fully guarantees second round picks contracts, bro? Nobody does that.
That's unheard of. Yeah.
So now you've done that. Now
you only do that for first round picks.
Right. Now you got that pencil into all these young second round picks heads that's on all the other teams. This is why nobody is able to get their second round pick signed, bro. Everybody wants guaranteed money now because they seen two other guys in the second round get guaranteed money, bro. So they set a precedent now. Now the rest of the league got to deal with this, and I was hoping the Arizona Cardinals signing Walter Nolan, that first round pick, to like half of his money guaranteed would kind of take the edge off of these young kids, and they would come on and sign. But thus far, that hasn't happened. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Cleveland, they just got a way of mucking up things everywhere, bro.
Like you said, Cincinnati too with Shamar Stewart. Yeah. And him holding out.
That's gotten so bad, Coach. They're talking about trading him, bro. That's unbelievable, bro. You just drafted him. This man has never donned your uniform yet. And you're talking about trading him?
Yeah, there talks about trading him.
That's crazy, Coach. That is crazy, bro. But thanks, Cleveland. Botching up the world again. The whole football world is gonna forever stay angry at the Cleveland Browns, bro.
Yeah, Cleveland Browns. Also, what about this one rookie, Kyle Monunga? He's been impressing in training camp as well. To Kyle Monunga, pleasantly, he's been a pleasant surprise. In a couple drills, I caught a couple touchdown passes from Caleb Williams as well. In one 2-minute drill, it was like a 94-yard touchdown drive where he caught a pass from Caleb Williams as well. I wanted to also get your take on Kyle Monunga too, with him being possibly being a part of the passing game as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's been doing.
When the Bears drafted Kyle Monunga, I was taken aback because I really felt like we had dibs at running backs like Caleb Johnson out there, Montrell Johnson Jr. out of the University of Florida, who went undrafted and ended up falling to the Philadelphia Eagles of all teams. There was a number of quality running backs out here that the Bears could have got their hands on. So when you waited to the 7th round to get a running back out of Rutgers. It told me they were trying to catch lightning in the bottle, which the Bears always seem to do when it comes to their running back room. Do you know they found Matt Forte at Tulane, bro? They went to the Green Wave to get Matt Forte. Nobody knew anything about Matt Forte when they found him. They also went to Jackson State to get Walter Payton when he was here. All our sweetness, arguably the greatest running back of all time. But he was at Jackson State. Who's looking at Jackson State for running backs? Who's looking at
nobody
for running backs? Nobody's looking that far down. The Bears always try to catch lightning in the bottle. So I was a little taken aback when they went and got Kyle Monangai until I did my research on him in the game film study. And Coach, I'm going to tell you,
this
man,
guy doesn't drop the ball. That's for sure.
I was not impressed with them picking him, but what he did in college was very impressive. Do you know this guy played 4 years of college football, Coach, and never had one fumble in 4 years? And he played in the Big Ten, people. We're not talking about somebody that's playing against Division II schools. You know, he's not playing against Alcorn State. You know what I mean? This guy's not going against, the HBCU universities. He's going against Ohio State, Illinois, Iowa, Michigan State, Nebraska. He's going against big dogs. And this guy, in a 4-year stint, never had a fumble. That is ultraly impressive. That is ultraly impressive. On top of that, he's great in the pass blocking game. This guy can block, and he blocks well. We have to worry about anybody.
And apparently he can catch the ball too.
Right. We don't have to worry about anybody running past the running back now. Caleb Williams, at least I should say, doesn't have to worry about it. Anybody running past the running back now when Kyle Monangai is back there, because this dude is excellent at pass blocking. He runs very well between the tackles. Not the fastest guy in the world, but he's little. He can get in behind those big guys, and he can chug, and he is tough to bring down. He's tough to bring down. Little and undersized, I'm not a fan of that. I don't think that's prototypical in the NFL, but I've been proven wrong through the years that, that sometimes works. So we're not going to say it's not going to work.
I was going to say, did you also see that clip of Darnell Wright catching a one-handed pass? That one clip of him.
Please, Ben Johnson, don't come over here starting, man. Don't do that. Do not do that. Come over here with trick plays, making Darnell Wright think that you
look like OBJ. He think he OBJ.
Right. Go sit down with that, man. Yeah, I saw it though. It was hella impressive by Darnell. That was impressive.
Do that of his size to catch it.
But I don't ever want to see that again, bro. That's the only time I want to see it. Right there in the OTAs. Don't do that. Don't do that. No. Let's not do that. No. We ain't gonna try some stuff though, so I can get ready for that. I already know, bro.
I already know that. I mean, shoot, I think the moment we just hired him, I wonder what he's gonna have up his trick plays. I mean, because he was able to score 33.5 points, bro. Like with the Detroit Lions.
The beauty of a Ben Johnson type head coach, coach, is that he studies every single scintilla of his opponent's defenses and their offensive playbooks. This dude knows what they're gonna do, what they're
he lives, breathes, and eats football. Like, I mean, have you seen this guy?
That's what you want in your
Ben Johnson looks like a freaking maniac, bro. This guy looks like if you see some of his press conferences, the dude looks like he hasn't slept in weeks.
Eyes are big.
He got dark spots in his eyes.
Chester Cheetah sinister grin on his face, like, yeah.
He's like,
we'll be ready. We'll be ready.
Yeah,
I mean, he's overly committed. You want that out of your head coach. It's going to take the pressure off of Caleb Williams to have to go figure it all out by himself. You know what I mean? And it's just going to get the ball rolling. With the talent that Caleb Williams has, if he listens, this may be the easiest head coaching job that a head coach could end up having, because Caleb is brilliant. This guy
he's smart,
bro. Yes.
I mean, if you watch some of his games, he's calling out plays, bro.
Smart.
Like, he's calling out plays that even Shane Waldron, he said, I don't agree with. Like, calling out plays at the line of scrimmage, reading defense. He's like, he sees something. He's like, saying, blitz, fire. He's like, blitz.
You're talking about a guy who doesn't even need to send a man in motion to know whether or not a defense is in zone or in man.
Or in man, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't even need to see anybody in motion. He can tell from the way they're lining
like he
up,
just
bro.
knows the alignment.
Yes, that's some Peyton Manning-esque type stuff, bro. You know, and that makes you dangerous as a quarterback in this league, bro. But you know, we're not gonna talk everybody's ear off about it. They'll see. They'll see this kid.
Oh yeah. People are. I mean, some people are saying, "Oh, Caleb Williams. Oh, he's a bust. Oh, he's this." I mean,
Yeah.
like
okay. Hang your head on that one.
I mean, look at the numbers. He had similar numbers to Jaden Daniels. Similar numbers to Jaden Daniels. And Jaden Daniels had the support, that coaching support that he had compared to Caleb Williams. I mean, people could talk about, oh, Caleb Williams had the weapons. Yeah, I mean, he had some solid weapons, but he didn't have the proper coaching. And coaching matters in this league. Coaching matters. It matters a whole lot.
Yeah. I was told that Caleb Williams had one of the worst QB seasons a rookie quarterback has ever had. I'm like, what were y'all?
In what world?
Yeah, because I remember a Troy Aikman having rookie season.
I remember K-Man now.
I remember Peyton Manning having like 17 interceptions or
28 touchdowns, 28 interceptions or something.
Yeah, man. What are we talking about here, bro? What are we talking about? 20-6, 3,500 passing yards. That's the worst. Quit playing with me. If that's the worst Caleb Williams ever does, the Bears are destined for greatness with this.
That's one of the best seasons in Bears history, not just in his rookie. One of the best seasons in Bears history. One of the best seasons statistically by a quarterback in Bears history.
So
hell, you could even say you could even say he had one of the best. Oh, I'm not even going to go that far in the NFL.
I mean, it was a solid year from Caleb Williams. That's what it was. It was a solid year from Caleb Williams. Yeah, everybody wants to talk about he had 9 straight game stretch. Well, he didn't throw a touchdown pass. That's fine. He didn't give any turnovers away either. He wasn't the reason you were losing games during that time. Caleb Williams is not beating you with bad mistakes. That dude is not going to lose games for us with bad mistakes. And this is what Caleb Williams is going to be, an elite QB. This is where he's going to get in that conversation, because he may lose some games, but he's not going to be the reason that we lose.
And he doesn't turn over the ball a lot. He doesn't turn the ball.
That's my point, bro. Makes very sound decisions. If there's nothing there to make, then Caleb will try to do it with his legs, or he'll live to fight another day. He learned that the hard way this past year. That you can't play hero ball all the time. This is how you end up with all those sacks on him. You know, a big reason why he ended up with all those sacks on him. But that being said, he won't have those problems this year. Go give me a prediction of what kind of numbers you expected out of Caleb Williams this year.
I mean, with Ben Johnson's coaching, I don't expect no less than 4,000. I'm calling it now.
4,000 yards passing. How many
4,000
TDs?
yards? I'd say between 26 to 35 touchdown.
Okay. How many turnovers? How many interceptions?
Less than 10.
Less than 10. A single-digit interception machine. I love it, bro. I got him 4,000 passing yards. I'm going to give Caleb 40 touchdown passes this year, bro.
Oh, wow.
I see it coming, bro. I see it coming, bro. Yeah.
That's going to be big, bro. If he have...
And maybe about 3 to 5 interceptions. I'll give him that. 3 to 5.
Low interception?
Yes.
The whole season? 5 interceptions?
5 interceptions. He only had 6 last year. And he started every game.
That's true. I have him at least like maybe 8 or 9 interceptions.
Okay.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
If he
that's
only
bold,
throw
bro.
6,
5 interceptions.
Bro, if he can only throw 6 with the atrocious offensive line that he was playing behind, this man can have a season where he only throws 5 interceptions easily, bro. I can see it, bro. I can see it. It's hard not to see it that you just seen him in his rookie year only throw 6.
And transitioning into
what's up, B? He said 35 TDs, 10 interceptions. Okay.
I feel you. I like that. I like how many yards, Brian? How many yards?
Yeah. Give us a yard number. Matter of fact, all y'all out there in Kale Sports Talk Land, y'all comment what y'all think he gonna do. What do you think Caleb Williams' numbers are going to be this year? I got him 4,000 yards, 40 touchdown passes and 5 interceptions or less. That's why I got him at.
So transitioning into
3,800. Okay, B said 3,800.
3,800.
I'm not mad at that, B. Those are good numbers,
that.
bro. Across the board. Those are Josh Allen-esque. I'm not mad at those numbers, bro.
Yeah, he could probably have some. He could probably, because he also can run too. So I mean, he probably over 4,000 yards, purpose yards, over 4,000, 35 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
I don't think Hill is gonna have to do too much running this year, though. I don't.
Oh
see
yeah.
that. Yeah.
I mean, we got a stacked offensive line.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I just love how all the naysayers are hollering, it's the Bears. It's the Bears. Like the Bears are just gonna fall on their face.
How many people said the same thing about the Lions, the Bengals?
I mean, yeah. I mean, so it's a thing where you gotta prove it, you gotta show people, But I think this year we show them, bro. You don't bring a 4-time Super Bowl winning, 4-time Pro Bowler and Joe Tooney in on the offensive line, and you just remain the same, bro. You don't bring Jonah Jackson in as a Pro Bowler under Ben Johnson while he was in Detroit, and you remain the same. You don't bring
a Pro Bowler center.
Yeah, you don't bring Drew Dalman in, top 5 center in the NFL, and you remain the same. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work like that, people. You don't bring in everything that we done brought in, and everything remains the same. It's going to be a problem stopping these Bears, especially after week 4 or 5 when we start gelling. Yeah, we're going to be a well-oiled machine. Get ready for it, league.
Yeah, after week 5, we're going to be a well-oiled machine.
I see that coming, bro. I see that coming.
All right, transitioning into NBA, guys. To NBA, man. The NBA Finals talk, man. What do you think about the NBA Finals? What's going on with the OKC Thunder? I know a couple days ago, OKC beat the Thunder convincingly, man. What was the score? Yeah, it was 120-109. I know that Halliburton. I mean, the first game of the series, man. I thought the Pacers was gonna really take it to
over. Yeah.
I thought they were gonna take a commanding lead with the OKC Thunder, but OKC, this team is looking like the legit. I mean, I've had them winning the championship since March or April, because I knew this team was so dominant. Like I knew, this team. I said, don't be surprised if this team goes to the finals and win it. And I mean, they're showing why. I mean, Jalen Williams, 40 points. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, another 30-point game. I think this is his. He broken a record for the most the most points in his first finals game. It was some crazy stat or whatever, but
yeah,
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
He scored 30 plus
crazy.
in every game except
he's going crazy, man. This final series.
Yeah, he scored 30 plus in every game except for game 3. That's the only game he didn't score.
Jalen Williams, he's emerging as the second
superstar. I love.
He's like the Scottie Pippen to.
He's old school, Golf. That dude goes to the hoop. He runs through your chest. He just does.
He guards almost all positions. This kid guards almost all positions, bro.
Yeah, man. He's phenomenal, bro.
He's phenomenal.
Let me say this. I'm going to start off by tipping my cap to the Indiana Pacers. I do believe this series is over. I think the OKC Thunder closing out this next game. But Indiana thoroughly impressed me in these playoffs, bro. I didn't think that they were that good on defense. Those dudes came to play, and they came to play ferocious.
They played hard early, though. I saw the game. They played hard early, bro. They were giving OKC fists earlier in that game.
I've been a big Miles Turner fan forever and a day, and Miles Turner has always let me down because to me, he was never living up to his potential. I've seen a coming out party with Miles Turner in these playoffs. Miles Turner is finally living up to the potential that I saw in him. What more can we say about Pascal Siakam? That dude is incredible, bro. He should be a first ballot Hall of Famer when his career is over. I do believe that about him. He's an NBA champion already and was trying to shoulder the load and take
and TJ McConnell too. TJ McConnell.
It's my favorite guy on the team.
TJ McConnell, bro. He's been the savvy veteran, bro.
That's my guy,
McConnell
man.
Coming off the bench, bro. He's been big.
Man, look, bro. Y'all just getting hip to TJ McConnell. I've been the biggest TJ McConnell fan for the last 5 years, bro.
Mm-hmm.
My nephew, Real Street Sports Talk, they would tell you, man, I am a TJ McConnell nut. I build fantasy
Mm-hmm.
teams on FanDuel, and if TJ McConnell's available, he on my
Mm-hmm.
team, bro. Because this guy is just instant numbers. He's instant offense. He's instant action. He's going to give
Mm-hmm.
you fantasy production out this world in little time. So yeah. So I'm thoroughly impressed with the Indiana Pacers. That being said, I just think they need Tyrese Halliburton to get more of a Mamba mentality in terms of killer instinct. He's got the clutch gene, Kof.
He does have a clutch.
Got
Yeah.
all of that, bro. He's got the range. He's got the confidence. He just doesn't have the killer instinct to close it out, to go just take it.
Take over again, right?
Play.
He doesn't have the killer instinct to just take over again.
Right. He's not Kobe and Jordan. He's more like LeBron. You know what I mean? In terms of when the game is on the line, he wants to make the right basketball play and all that there. Sometimes you just got to get.
Sometimes he'll pass out of a shot and give it to, like, let's say Neesmith or Pascal.
I love Neesmith too. That dude is great, man. I love.
Yeah, Neesmith is good too.
Yeah, but yeah. So to me, he's kind of hurt his own opportunity. And I'm talking about Tyrese Halliburton by not taking more of the "it's on me" role on when the game is on the line enough. I don't think I know he does it, but I don't think he does it enough, bro. I don't think he does it enough. He needs to do it more often. He needs to make himself be that guy, down the stretch.
I mean, he did it against Milwaukee. He did it against.
He did it the first game of these finals. He did it the first game of these finals.
He did it against the Knicks, and then the first game of the finals.
Right. So I just need to see more of that. But that being said, he's out there. He was nursing an injury because I've never seen a game where the guy wasn't able to score from the field, bro. When he's hurting, it definitely is going to tell in his scoring, bro. That dude can shoot like nobody's business, bro. So I don't, I knew something had to be wrong when I saw him not putting in buckets. But that being said, they gave it a great try. Tip my cap to them. Now, getting to the Thunder, Cove. Thunder are phenomenal, bro. This is a team that I've been seeing that was great, that had potential to be a great team and win it all eventually for a number of years now. They just had to prove it to me in the playoffs, bro. And that's where I was at with them, because they get to the playoffs and all of a sudden they fold like
Sam Presti, man. You got to give it up to him. I mean, the way that he's been rebuilding this team for so long,
and they still got what? I think they got 3 or 4 more first round picks coming. They got some more first round picks coming. Ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, Sam Presti, you got to give it up to him. I mean, he's been waiting for so long. He's been building this team for the longest, and the fact that he's on the cusp of winning an NBA championship shows that his work is finally paying off, because I've been rooting for Sam Presti, bro. Like after they traded, or no, after what's his name went into free agency with KD, and then Russell Westbrook leaving too. They had to recruit more picks as well. He was able to recruit more first round picks, and then those picks turn into Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, and then them trading for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Nobody expected Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to just come out and just be the superstar that he is. But Sam Presti, he took his chances. He took his chances. Shay, and now it's paying off big time, man. It's paying off big time. And so big ups to Sam Presti, man.
Yeah,
for
man.
Having the patience, bro. Having the patience to build this team, bro.
The ultimate addition that I believe took them over the top was the trade with the Chicago Bulls to bring Alex Caruso over there, bro. Caruso has been a revelation for this team in the playoffs, bro. That dude is a steel machine. He makes all the right defensive plays. He takes the tough defensive assignment and shuts it down, and he scores buckets and weighty buckets. It's not that he's just putting up 20, 30 points. When he shoots, his buckets count. You feel the impact of what he does. He's an impact player, bro. He's an impact player. Bringing him there,
he's working hard for those points. He works hard for them.
And bringing him there, I believe that's what put them over the top and got them ready for NBA championship. And they're 1 game away now. So kudos to the OKC Thunder. Hopefully next year, this could be the story we're telling about the Chicago Bulls, bro.
Hopefully. Well, they got to do one thing: resign Josh Giddey.
Yeah, he got rid of Jerry Reinsdorf. Woo! Celebrate! Sold the team. Thank God. Bye. What you been waiting on? Right. Was it the Bulls or was it the who did he say? Was it the White Sox?
It was the White Sox. It was the White Sox.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the Bulls. It was the White Sox. I know. I wish it was the Bulls.
Yeah, I wish it was the wrong team, y'all.
I wish it was the Bulls, but
it needs to hurry up and be the Bulls.
Yeah, man. Jerry Reinsdorf just needs to retire, go to retirement home, and just live his life, man. Like, don't own the team. I know you got to deal with the stresses of owning a team. You know, you got to deal with all that.
Ain't no stress to him because he don't do nothing. Yeah, he don't collect money. What do you do? Nothing. That bum don't do nothing, man.
But anyway, before we end this video, what do you think about the Cubs? Before I got my man right here. You see this guy right here? He is the face of the Chicago sports right now. The most electrifying man in all of sports. He is Hollywood. You know the name. Pete Henry Crow Armstrong. That's my man right there. PCA. He's going to be the NL MVP. Let's go. Chicago Cubs winning the World Series. Let's go. What do you think about That's right, Real Street Sports Talk. PCA, baby. PCA.
I think, per usual, you Chicago scrub fans, Cubs, are delusional. They're a very good team.
He is the face.
They're strong. But I don't even think he's the best player on y'all team. I don't think he's the best player. I think the best player is Kyle Tucker, bro. Kyle Tucker is a stud. That being said, y'all a cute story. Y'all gonna make the playoffs. I'm gonna give you that, but you gotta show me you ready to make a run at the Dodgers and the Padres and all these the Philadelphia Phillies, the Mets, and all these powerhouses.
That's right. He has been far our best player. I mean, did you just see that game yesterday, bro? The 8th inning. Let me show you, dude. When he was able to catch that ball, I forgot who hit that ball. It was probably Terang or somebody or Frelick. He was able to hit that fly out, and it's almost seemed like it was going to be a hit. And PCA, I mean, the probability of him catching that ball was like maybe 5%. This guy was able to catch the ball to end the inning, and then in the bottom of the 8th inning, he's able to hit a 452-foot home run. I mean, this kid has got so much power in his bat.
Wait a minute, go.
Like, he's got so much power.
What's that smell?
I don't smell nothing.
Stinks.
I smell jealousy. That's what I smell. I smell jealousy from salty Chicago White Sox fan.
Whatever,
he don't got PCA on his team. We got a superstar in PCA. Know the name. Hollywood, Pete Henry.
Hey, you do know this is a Chicago Bears podcast, right? You know this is a Bears podcast, right?
Anyway,
that kid can play, man. He is nice, bro. He is nice. I'm not gonna take nothing from him. I still think Kyle Tucker is the best player on your team. That's all I got.
Okay. Anyway, guys, it's bear down though. It's always bear down, you know.
PCA. Oh my God.
Oh, all right, guys. I'd like to thank you guys for coming to the show, man. Well, just let me know, Chuck, whenever you want to do another video, dude. Hopefully next week or something.
Yeah, we can do it probably next Monday, bro.
Right, next Monday. Probably next Monday we'll do a video. I know it's been a while since we've done sports hangout, but we'll keep the content coming, guys. I know next month training camp is going to be wrapping up. I think it's early July, if I'm not mistaken. Is it early July? Training camp?
I think so, bro.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing some updates. I mean, if there are any trades that's going on with the Trey Hendrickson, I don't know what's going on. I heard that the talks have been up, like the contract between the Cincinnati Bengals have been up, but nothing is,
Trey's not even showing up to training camp.
Oh, okay.
It's all bad in Cincinnati right now, bro.
Yeah. But I mean, if the Chicago Bears are able to trade for him, I'm going to do an emergency podcast on that. So stay tuned for that. But that's all the video we have for you today, guys. Stay tuned for more video updates, news, Chicago sports news, and all that. And yeah, guys, bear down, guys. Chicago up, bear down, guys.
Bear down, baby.
All right, guys. Peace.
That's why I'm trying to make a better way. Whole new crib in a better place. Get my people out the hood, we'll see better days. Tell a fan sorry, y'all let them wait. Shit up there like a Saturday. Listen to me.